Now that you're ready to go into the rig, what you're going to start with is the purple square key. So that's going to be your door access. So let's get in here, get it unlocked. Anything that's vertical, pointing up and down, that's unlocked. Anything that's horizontal, that's going to be locked. So that'll get your door open. This door, it's got a special hinge system, so it doesn't have to lock in on a clip. It'll take like a 40-mile-per-hour wind to gust this thing around. So just kind of push it open and it'll stay there. The handle right here, you just simply lift up and turn it, and then it'll lock it in place. With the stairs, this yellow lever, pull it either way, and then you'll grab the stairs from the top, and pull towards you. And you set it down. For these stairs, you'll want this mount to be fairly flush with the threshold right here. So like no gaps over here, and you also don't want it bulking up. To adjust that, you've got some legs on the bottom here and a couple of pins. If you come in closer, I'll show you real quick. These pins, if you get where you need to adjust either side of it, you'll start down here on the bottom, and you'll push up with your thumb until it pops out. And then there's another little setting right in here, which will pop it out. You have to get that second one a pretty good tug to get it out. And then you can slide this back and forth to get it to the setting that you need to where it won't wobble around. And that threshold setting is really flush. And then once you get the hole lined up, just push it back through. First hole is always the easiest, the second one's a little bit harder to line up. There it is. So we'll set that back down. So the next thing you can do is get the lights on. So you've got 4 different light settings right here. Far left one is going to be your interior living room lights. So I'll pop that on. All the lights above come on. Entry, awning, and then accent lights. You can have those on as well. If you've got your water hooked up at this point, you can go ahead and flip this electric button. That'll get the water heated. And then the next thing you want to do is slide this guy out. So if you look inside here, you don't have a lot of room to move around. So first thing you want to do is get some room to move around. So right over here, this far left button, it's your slide in and out. The down one, which is labeled right here for out, that's what you'll hold on to. So I'll hold this down, and you'll see right here, it's going to slide out. There it is. Alright, now we'll hop in and I'll show you the first things you should do when you get in here. Alright, the first thing you want to go to when you get inside here is get your refrigerator set up. We usually have it on for anybody that comes to pick this up. So what you'll want to do is you'll come over here. This is the freezer unit. Big door, refrigerator. Smaller door, freezer. To open these up, what you'll do is you'll push these towards where the microwave oven is. Push it out like that and then pull towards you. If you just try to pull towards you, it's going to lock in, so you won't be able to. So you got to push out towards the microwave and oven and then pull towards you. So do that. Do the same thing on the freezer. You'll come up here. I'll show you these 2 buttons. So like I said, we'll typically have these on for everybody, so that's nice and cold whenever you get it. But this left button right here, if you set it to off, that'll make sure that it's not pulling any propane or electricity on it. And then if you set it to on, you'll see this auto kicks on. So this runs off of both electric and propane. If it recognizes that there's no electricity coming into this or not enough, it's going to swap over to propane. If for any reason you want to just use propane, what you would do is hit the second button, and right now it's flush, but if I push it all the way out, it's going to shut off the electricity side and just go to propane. If you've got it on propane side or it doesn't have electricity and it's sitting on, what's probably going to happen is a little alarm that says check is going to come on, which means it's not getting propane, and it's also not getting electricity, but the switch is on, so it says, hey, it sounds like you want to have this going, but you don't have anything to come in here. So if this thing starts beeping and this light's going, it's because you don't have electricity or propane coming to it. All right, so we'll close that. Call off real quick right here. You've got a couple different sensors. So there's 3 different breakups right here. So top one is going to be your freezer temperature. Middle one's going to be your refrigerator temperature. And then the bottom one's going to be the inside temperature inside here. So talking about the inside temperature, we'll come right over here to the thermostat. So this right here has got a couple different phases to go through. So it's off right now, but if you press this button for mode, the first one that's going to come up, it's going to be fan. Second one will be AC. Third one, furnace. And then the fourth one puts it back off. If you need to change the temperature, it's simply the up and down dials to get there. So for AC, you've got a couple of different ways to look at this. Right up here. So if you're wanting to get a lot of air really quick into this central area, there's this vent slide right here. So if you open this up, it'll focus all the air, pushing it down right in this area. Now the other way to get air throughout everything is these vents along the ceiling. So there's one over here, there's one above the kitchen, and then there's one above the bed area. So on this vent right here, the one that we opened up, if I slide this back down, what it's going to do is it's going to force the air to the vents that are in the ceiling. Now on the other side, the furnace part, that's going to be everything that's down here on the floor. So these vents that are down here at the lower end of the floor, that's where your furnace heat's going to come out if you're in colder weather and you've got your furnace going. Down here, next to that furnace vent, for any reason that you have electricity that in any of these electronics that stops completely, this is probably your best troubleshooting spot to look first. So to open this door, you'll go to the left side of it, give it a little push in, and it'll click open. And then you just kind of wiggle it open. And then everything's labeled on here as to what goes to which electronic and all the amps. So 10, 15, 5 amps, all here. But if for any reason one of these blows, I've got a tool bag in the undercarriage that you could swap one of these out. Let's go to the oven side. So on the oven, I'll start up here on the vent hood to get the light on. Hit there. If you ever need the vent on while cooking, it's that right there. To get this open, it's a pretty cool little bifold cover here. So it uses these little rubber notches on the end to hold it in place. So you kind of just use two hands and softly lift it up until it pops open. And then you can fold this one all the way back, and then you can fold the second one back. And then these spring hinges on the outside will hold it to where that second stage is held out. Now, to get this going, you'll have to have your propane on. So if you don't have your propane tank open, nothing's going to come out of these. But we'll start up here at the top burners. So you've got 3 top burners, and they're labeled here just like any other stove. So this guy over here is going to be the back left, front middle, back right. And this knob over here on the far left is going to be your igniter. This thing, it'll just click over as you go clockwise. You don't have to have this red dial in any certain position. So as it goes around, you can get it back to the top if you need to. But to show you how one of these lights, it's going to act as any other grill. So set it to your high position, gas will be going, and then you'll take the igniter, turn it clockwise, and it'll kick on. You can set it to high, or you can go to low, and it has a pretty good low simmer mode. And then to turn it off, it's that red dial all the way to the top. These buttons over here, it's going to be your lights. So right now it's off. Push it up, it'll do illumination lights on the knobs here. And then to the bottom, it'll be the light for the oven. So let's point at the oven real quick, just so I can show you how that one works. So this one's going to be a little bit different than your igniters and setup on top. You've got a pilot light on this one. So this right back here is the igniter system that we're going to be looking at. So you've got an igniter and a pilot light over here. This knob right here on the far right is going to be your oven. So to get that pilot light going is the first thing you want to do. Right up here at the top, there's a little flame icon. So I'll turn this, push in and turn to where that flame icon's sitting there. I'm going to push this in, probably hold it for 10 to 15 seconds to get it primed. And then from there, I'm going to twist the igniter. So now, if you can pop the camera back down there again, you'll see that there's a little blue flame back there on the pilot. That'll work. So now if I turn the knob to any of the temperature settings, you'll see it ignite that entire burner. So you can go all the way up to a setting that's 490 and all the way down to 320. And then if you want it to where the pilot light's on, say you're gonna bake something else here fairly quickly, you can turn the setting back to where it's just the pilot light flame. It'll stay on. But if you want it completely off, it's just that red knob to the top again. And that's how the oven works. When you get into the bathroom, the main thing that you'll want to know how to use is the vent. So here's the light switch for the bathroom. Up here, you've got this pillow type insulation. We just keep this in here to help keep it cooler or warmer, whichever it needs to be temperature setting wise. So if you just give this a pull down, and then you can stow this away to any of the cabinets that are under in the area. And then right up here, right here, this knob, this is what will open the vent door. So if you turn it clockwise, it'll open it up. And then when you have it open, you can hit this switch over here in this corner to activate this fan right here that'll pull air out. And then switch again to turn it off, and then counterclockwise to get this closed. So you can keep this closed if there's any kind of rain or weather that you want to keep out. You'll have two vents that open within this. First one's back here in the bathroom. The second one's going to be right up here at the front, next to the sofa and bed area. So again, this can just pull down, clockwise to open, counterclockwise to close. All right, so to check your tanks and your battery level, it's just going to be right here. So all these buttons, and they're labeled as to what goes to which gauge. So the first one, battery. If I press this button, you'll see all four lights light up, and that means that it's full. So full, 2/3, 1/3, empty. And then your next one's gonna be your freshwater tank. We don't have anything in there right now. It says empty, black, nothing in there, empty, gray, empty. So that'll be how you check your tanks and your battery. Down here, water pump, that'll go specifically to this freshwater tank. So if you're not hooked up to running water and you want to use your freshwater tank, this is what you'll use to actually pump the water through the faucets. LP gas, so if you're not hooked up to electrical and you're needing some hot water, this LP gas will work as well. And then if you need really high volume, so let's say a couple different folks are taking a shower one after the other, you can have this one going and this one going at the same time, so it can help push out a little bit more volume on your hot water. Right up here, this is going to be your surround sound system. So you got AM, FM, Bluetooth, USB, HDMI, and then a couple different settings for the outside speakers and inside speakers. You can set this up to auxiliary as well for the TV to push out sound through here as well. This HDMI port does go directly to the TV, so if you have a DVD player or anything that plays through an HDMI cord, you can plug it in right here to get it to go directly to the TV.